Billy!
Yeah, Mom.
It's time to hear Tex on the radio.
Yay, I'm coming.
Lieutenant.
Howdy, little buckaroos. This is Ol Tex, coming to you from somewhere out on the open range. I hope you're ready for another great cowboy tale. Today we're going to hear the story of Chopo My Pony. Now I want you to read along with me, so get your book out and turn to page 1. And so that you will know when Ol Tex is moving on to the next page, you listen for the horse to whinny. When he does, turn the page. Okay, buckaroo, here we go down the trail. In the olden days, friends were often hard to come by for the range cowboy. Life could get lonely out on the plains. A cowboy could look for miles in any direction and not see another soul. There weren't any towns to speak of in those early days, and the ranches, if there were any, were days and days apart. In fact, there weren't many folks at all on the western plains, except for the Indians. In that time long ago, before the railroads came and the land was settled, it was just wide open spaces. The cowboy made his camp, cooked his chuck, and took his rest, and often as not was his own company to keep. Oh, there might be a coyote or a long-eared rabbit off in the brush, and every now and then the silhouette of an Indian brave would appear up on the ridge. But that was about it. Nevertheless, there was one friend the cowboy could count on through thick and thin. It was a friend he could not survive without. Oh, this friend didn't talk or drink coffee or tell tall tales next to the fire, but a true friend nonetheless. This story is about just such a friend with 4 legs, a friend that wore a saddle and transported a working cowboy across the wide open plains like a magic carpet. One such cowboy was Shorty Longlegs. He called his friend Chopo. Chopo was a stout cow pony, a hard worker. Shorty, who rode Chopo across the open range, loved his pony. He took the best care of his friend, making sure Chopo's needs were met even before his own. Because if a cowboy knows anything, he knows that without his horse, he isn't a cowboy at all. Shorty wasn't afraid to ride into places that looked scary and dangerous as long as he could sit high above on the back of old Chopo. Many was the time that he and Chopo chased a runaway steer through a deep, dark Texas arroyo. The arroyo twisted and turned like a snake running through the tall grass, its high rocky sides looking down on the horse and rider, casting a dark shadow on their path. In the course of a day's labor, the sure-footed Chopo often had to transport Shorty Longlegs down the side of a slippery mountain without any hesitation. But always, both the rider and his mount would arrive in the gentle valley below without so much as a scratch. Now, for most rides, Shorty directed Chopo where he needed him to go. He would gently use the reins to guide his pony towards the desired destination. Shorty would touch Chopo's side with the rowels of his spurs to signal that it was time to ride. There was also a time that Shorty loosened the reins, giving up his control of Chopo and letting his pony make the choice. This was always so when the cattle suddenly broke into a wild stampede. Now, a stampede was dangerous for both Shorty and Chopo. But when a stampede happened, they had to face the challenge with determination and courage together. No one really knows for sure what makes a herd of cattle suddenly take off on a wild stampede across the plains. Sometimes it's a flash of lightning that sets them off. Sometimes it's nothing more than the smell of a wolf lurking in the brush. And sometimes it's only the loud sneeze of a cowboy. What is known for sure is that when hundreds and hundreds of longhorns are on a run, it takes a mighty brave cowboy and a mighty strong horse to stop them. Shorty and Chopo must avoid many dangers as they ride at full speed across the plains, chasing a big herd of runaway cattle. Dangers like prairie dog holes that can throw a horse and rider into a headlong tumble down among the razor-sharp hooves of the running cattle. There are also the bluffs and the cut banks that can't be seen soon enough before the cowboy rides off the edge. And of course, we can't forget the cattle, who are big, strong, and ornery, and don't want to be stopped. Shorty and Chopo must ride hard to reach the lead runaway steers, turning the herd in a great circle called a mill. But as the lead steers of the stampede begin to circle back, the whole herd begins to slow and stop running. Shorty and Chopo finally bring the wild herd of cattle back under control. Once again, the herd is ready to move quietly up the trail. Now you might wonder who brought the rampaging cattle under control. Was it Shorty Longlegs, or was it his pony, Chopo? Well, partner, the way I see things, it wasn't either one of them by themselves. The two were a team. One without the other was helpless in that wild and woolly stampede. Shorty on foot, or Chopo without a rider, could not stop those wild running cattle. But working together, as a team, they were up to the task. Together they bravely did their job and saw it through until it was done. Shorty and Chopo saved the herd that day for sure. And Buckaroo, that's the Cowboy Way. Well, Lil Buckaroo, I'm going to do a song for you now. You know, cowboys really like to sing when they was out on the range. They'd sing to anything, trees, cattle, armadillos, whatever. And it didn't matter whether they could sing or not. They just liked to sing. Chopo my pony, chopo my pride, chopo my amigo, chopo I'll ride. From the Mexican border to the Texas Llano, to the Salt Pecos River, I'll ride you, Chopo. Through the Texas Arroyo, dark and deep, down the side of the mountain, so slippery and steep. Sure-footed, good judgment wherever you go. Your safety conveyance, my little Chopo. You're a good cow pony, you'll never jerk down. When tied to a steer, you'll circle him round. Let him once cross the string, and over he'll go. You saw-obey the business, my little Chopo. Well, one day on the Llano, hailstorm began. Cattle, they stampeded, and the horses all ran. Well, the lightning had flashed, and the wind it did blow. But your face is sweet music, my little Chopo. Chopo my pony, chopo my pride, chopo my amigo, chopo I'll ride. From the Mexican border to the Texas Llano, to the Salt Pecos River, to the Salt Pecos River, I'll ride you, Chopo.